If you don't like it, hope you stub your toes.
What's up, weirdos? Welcome to Fun and Bummer, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the just fine. My name is Carson.
And my name's Theron. And today we're going to be talking about Daredevil. And that's it.
That's all we really need to talk about.
It's the only one worth talking about to me, if I'm being honest with you. Today we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to most in 2025.
We're finally actually covering some things that are not from 2024.
Yeah, that 2024 is in the past, Carson.
It's literally last year.
Literally, this is last year's news. We're in the big quarter, bro. Q-U-T-E-R, quarter. Okay? We're fourth way through the century. I doubt I'm going to see the halfway point, so this is kind of a big deal.
You know.
Okay.
That's why we got to get this in while we can.
That's what she said. Okay. So I think...
Thank you.
I think a good place to start would be shows. What do you think, Carson?
I think that's a great idea. Pretty much, so we've got, we've ranked our top 5 movies that we are not really looking forward to, and then our top 5 that we are really looking forward to. With TV shows, as far as the ones that we are probably going to cover, it's pretty much just shows that we're excited to watch. Mostly. Or at least cautiously optimistic about.
You know what I'm not cautious about? Daredevil, bro. I gotta tell you, Daredevil can do no wrong. I mean, the first 2 seasons were quality.
Well, the third season is easily that is one of my favorite pieces of television I've ever watched.
Yes.
It's all finally on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's
you know what? What are you doing here, bro? Go watch it. Why are you even here?
Pause this episode.
You shouldn't be watching anything else if you haven't seen Daredevil yet.
Go watch Daredevil and then come back. We're not spoiling Daredevil or anything, but like seriously, go watch Daredevil. Like even if you don't like superhero stuff, it's genuinely one of the best shows out there. I think Carson, pretty much anybody can.
Carson,
like
I am going to spoil something. I'm going to spoil something.
Oh God.
The main character's blind. I don't know how to tell you this, Carson. The main character goes blind.
This might be tough for you to hear, but everything is really hard for him to see. So,
but it's also not at the same time.
So, he also does make an appearance in She-Hulk. You don't have to watch that.
No. In fact, I would
he shows
caution
up in it.
against.
That's about all you have to know.
He's there. He's in his McDonald's suit, and that's the only part worth watching in the entire show.
Pretty much. Well, and the new show, it's Daredevil Born Again.
Born Again.
It's like he was born, and then he was born again.
It's like he was born once, and then it happened again. It was crazy.
Life is crazy, man.
Life is crazy.
But so it's titled after a very famous Daredevil comic book, probably the most known Daredevil comic book, at least within the comic book community. Yeah. I won't really say anything about what happens in that, just in case anything happens in the show. But it's really good. It's phenomenal. But yeah, so it is essentially a season 4. It was originally not going to really be that. The original version of the show didn't even have most of the returning cast. He didn't even suit up until like episode 4, and it was apparently just a very different show. And they came in and were like, so people that really like the original show,
why don't we do
they probably
right
want to see
once?
that. What if for once we just gave people what they wanted?
What if instead of trying to subvert expectations, we met them? You know
They
what
took
I
a
mean?
page out of the Sonic movie creators
Oh
team, and they were like, you know what? Let's just give people what they're asking for.
yeah.
We might
It's
actually get more money.
oh wow.
And now here we are, 3 Sonic movies later, and a Knuckles TV show.
Oh my god, the third Sonic movie is a freaking masterpiece, bro. It's so funny.
It's well,
And the action is amazing too. We'll talk about
we'll
that
probably
at a
cover
different time.
Sonic at a different time. But last time we also covered Squid Game season 2. Season
Ooh.
3 comes out this year. We are
Ooh.
so excited if you couldn't gather from
Yeah.
our Squid Game 2 episode.
Dude, it's gonna be like Squid Game 2, but the third one. You know what I mean?
Well said. Well said.
Thank
I don't know. Your code was pretty tough to crack. But I think our listeners might be able to get it. If you want to know
all three of them.
if you want to know more of our specific thoughts on season 2, go check that episode out. But to keep that part short, we're excited about Squid Game season 3. Looks like it comes out in June.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We're
Let's hope they don't Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse us, you know.
oh yeah, Beyond the Spider. Oh god, don't get me started on
Don't
that.
even
If you-
get me started.
Any whoozle. There's also. Did you watch Andor? The first season of that, the Star Wars
Cassian
show.
Andor from
Yes.
the hit show Rogue One.
Yes, that
No.
hit show.
So I have 2 kids, and they're both very young. I don't have a
Right.
lot of chance to watch shows very much. I can see movies pretty easily, but shows is just not really on the play note for me. But I did see a synopsis of it, and it looked pretty darn interesting.
I will tell you, it is. If you liked Rogue One, you would definitely like Andor. I the first season came out before I had children in my life, so I was able to see it at the time. As Theron pointed out, TV shows are definitely harder for us to fully swing, so that's why they'll be a little bit more rare on this channel. Just a heads up. So before
Even though
y'all
one
keep
of-
yelling at us to watch a million different TV shows, and what we're wondering about Yellowstone or Severance or anything like that, we're very selective with the TV shows that we
Yeah.
are able
In
to
case you
muscle
couldn't
through.
tell, by literally one half of our catalog being TV shows so far, we don't have time for them. Okay?
So it is a more serious Star Wars TV show. I think you
they
should
get
give
right
it
into it with murdering someone, and then he's like,
in the
"Oh,
very
God."
first scene.
It's like too real. It's too
It's-
real for a Disney show.
If you haven't been too fond of some of the Disney Star Wars stuff and think that it's gotten a little too goofy or too much for children, whatever, go check out Andor. It is it is not at all for children. It is very much aimed at adults, and it's just really good. That's all I can really say about it without just going on a long-winded thing. There's also a Game of Thrones show coming out,
Who?
A Knight of Seven Kingdoms. I know nothing about it other than it is based on a Tales of Dunk and Egg, and that is it. But I love Game of Thrones mostly,
G-O-T,
and
baby.
love House of Dragon. Love the
Yes.
books.
I still
It's,
haven't seen the second
so-
season of House of Dragon, by the way.
Same. I have seen
What?
a couple of I've seen the first 2 episodes, I think, but I would probably have to rewatch them if I were to really know what was going on. There's a Game of Thrones show coming up. No idea. No real details on it that I've been able to look at. But yeah, I'm excited for anything Game of Thrones. I'll check it all out.
Yeah, except the season 8.
Except for season 8. The very last season.
Look,
No, I
they had
will.
me.
I will not watch it.
They had me up until after. I know a lot of people don't like The Long Night. Just watch it at night. You know, like it's really not that hard. Just watch it at nighttime. Anyway,
It is. It
it's a
is
good
literally
episode.
called The Long Night.
You know what happens at night? This goes back to Carson. Carson loved the lighting in that movie.
I did.
Because you couldn't see shit. So that's why he loved it so much. Because as he said in his Nosferatu review, he loved how dark it was.
I did, in fact, love the nighttime stuff, the nighttime cinematography. Same thing for The Long Night in Game of Thrones. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You still saw the things you needed to see.
Yeah,
Just
that's
turn
what
up
the
your
fire
TV
was
brightness
for.
or
Yeah,
something.
just turn up the TV brightness, watch it at night, stop complaining. You got it. It's a good
Plus,
episode.
The very last episode has plenty more to complain about than The Long Night does.
We could spend the rest of this review talking about that.
But instead of doing that, the other shows coming out that we're more than likely going to at least try to check out, Last of Us Season 2. I still need to watch Season 1, but I've played both video games. There's also Stranger Things, the final season. We're just going to keep going.
I haven't seen any Stranger Things, so I have literally nothing to say about that.
I'm excited for it. If nothing else, it's at least finishing before getting through like 10 more seasons.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of modern shows is they just... Well, it's not even modern shows. All shows since the beginning of cinema.
A lot of shows.
They don't know when to end it. I think the show that ended it, one of the shows that ended it at the absolute perfect time was Breaking Bad. Because it's like, what more could you have done, you know? And then they end it right at the perfect time, which is very hard to do, especially when the show is successful as Breaking Bad. But, you know, you just gotta know when to do it. It's time to throw in the towel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then what I believe will be our very next episode is going to be the first couple episodes of a animated series coming out, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is the one that I'm most cautiously optimistic about. It's Spider-Man. He's literally my favorite fictional character ever. Favorite superhero. I have a lot of opinions on anything Spider-Man. I want to love this because it's him. The animation is it's a choice.
Oh my god.
It is a choice.
Why'd they make Harry Osborn look like a 40-year-old lesbian? That's what I want to know. I don't know if you've ever seen Jet Set Radio Future, which was made 20 years ago. It looks the exact same. So that's quality right there.
I don't know. Maybe my brain and eyes will adjust as the show goes. We'll find out. But it's not immediately building me with enthusiasm. But I'm very intrigued by all of the things I've heard about what they're wanting to do with it. It's already been greenlit for not just a second season, but a third season. So
that's
I
a lot
have
of
to assume
confidence.
that's a lot of confidence, and not just because it's Spider-Man. That is to give it a third season before the first season has even aired.
Silliness.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out next week. In fact,
next week on Fun and Bummer.
Even though we literally just said we're probably not going to watch that many shows, our very next episode is in fact going to be a show. But that's not important. That's not what we're talking about.
Don't listen to what we said. You can't trust us from 10 minutes ago. Okay, they're untrustworthy. Time to move forward. Okay.
And moving forward, we are going to be talking about movies. We're going to be talking about our top 5. So yeah, we're excited about all the shows. There's not really any TV shows that we're just like, we're aware of that we have any kind of strong negative feeling towards. Um, you take it away for our next bit.
All right. Methinks that
You saw things?
I Misa thinks that we should start with the bottom five. Let me tell you why. Because when someone asks you when someone asks you if you want the good news or the bad news first, what do you say? You always say the bad news first.
We'll start with 5 and work our way down to 1.
All right.
You
The one that I'm least excited for. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. It's the best of the worst.
Yes, there you go.
The Jurassic World. I mean, speaking of not knowing when to end things, Jesus Christ. How many times can you make a freaking movie about dinosaurs in modern times? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
So, did you see all of the Jurassic World movies? Like up to this point, the 3 of them?
I don't think I saw Dominion, but I saw. Is that the second one?
No. So there's Jurassic World, and then I believe the second one is Fallen Kingdom.
Oh yeah, when they have to go back and save the dying brontosaurus. Who cares? They're CGI creatures.
Because that's when they actually have like
yeah.
It was a whole
obligatory nonsense.
I don't know. And then there was Dominion, and it just I don't know.
It's an interesting concept for sure, but like, where's my Velociraptor car? You know, like not looking like I want to ride a Velociraptor. You know what I'm saying?
There really isn't any point where they just ride a dinosaur.
What?
That I can recall.
That's what you do with a movie where dinosaurs are integrated into. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, they just never did.
You know what?
Which
that's
I'm
going,
like,
that's going on the bottom. The worst of the worst. Just for not riding a dinosaur. Pick. You got to be out of your damn mind.
So the one that I am most least, the best of the worst, for my bottom 5 is the Minecraft movie.
God. That one's my second worst.
I cannot tell you how much I cringe every time I see a trailer for this stupid movie.
Steve, let me tell you something, brother. I swore up and down that it was like a April Fool's joke that came out 6 months away from April Fool's.
Right.
But I swear to God, I was like, oh, Jack Black's in this. It's got to be a meme. Like, they got to be memeing on us. Like, there's no way.
They even do the yearn for the mines joke. Yeah, no, oh no, man! I just I understand it's a kids movie.
Okay,
I get it.
That excuse only gets you so far, especially when the majority of people who would probably want to see the movie aren't kids. I mean,
kinda, yeah.
Sure, there's lots of kids that like Minecraft. I prompt Minecraft, as they say. How much dedicated wham does this movie have? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I don't know when you're gonna get like Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Oh my God!
Like,
it's the worst casting decision I've ever seen in my entire life.
And it just, I don't know, like it doesn't seem that funny.
No, it looks like it's gonna be.
It looks fine. It looks like a Minecraft movie, but I don't know. It feels like the most obvious cash grab ever.
Yeah, that's 90% of movies recently. Just obvious cash grabs.
But yeah, I am sure that there will be kids that absolutely love it, but I will probably not be taking mine to go see it.
All right, so I'm gonna go next.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 was Megan 2. Mainly, or is it Megan 2 or Megan 3?
Megan 2.
Um,
That's hurtful.
I just don't care at all. So I mean, I don't know.
Did
what
you
to
not
tell
like
you.
the first one?
Can I tell you something?
You can tell me something.
Can I crack an egg of knowledge on your head, Carson? I could not. You couldn't pay me to be interested in the first one. Okay.
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't even have anything to say about this. I just don't care so little. Or I guess I don't care so much. I care so little that it's not even on my radar. That's why it's in the middle of my, or I guess that's number 4. Whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
So I absolutely love the first or not absolutely love, but I really liked the first Megan movie. But it did kind of. It seemed like it had a lot of buzz before the movie, and then it kind of just came and went for a lot of people. So I will be kind of surprised if the second one has a lot of hype around it.
I doubt it.
All I can tell you is that I know that whenever I would see a trailer for the first one, there was always at least one grown woman that I could hear in the theater just go, "Nope."
It's because
the second they saw the doll, just nope.
Yeah, it's got big Uncanny Valley vibes to it, which is kind of the point, obviously. But
at some point, we might have to do a review of the first one just to be able to talk about it. It's very interesting. But
we love horror movies, so we're definitely gonna have them sprinkled in a lot.
And unfortunately, and ironically enough, it is another horror movie that is my number 4.
Oh, what is it?
For my bottom list. It is the Conjuring or the Insidious movie that is coming out this year.
Insidious.
Insidious. That's Insidious.
It's insidiously. I can't believe it.
It is. So I didn't even know there was another Insidious movie coming out.
Neither did I until you literally just said it right now. So
it's apparently called Thread. And it's a Insidious tale, so it's supposed like to be like a spin-off, like an anthology type of deal. But I don't know, like I like the first couple of Insidious movies, but they kind of lose me after a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, right back to overstaying your welcome, you know what I mean?
Like, it's kind of one of those that they could have just done the first one and called it good.
Could have been a cult classic.
They just kept going. And I don't know. They're not that scary to me. I don't think they ever really topped anything from the first one. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, that is a horror movie franchise that I've just lost my interest in.
Right.
But yeah, what's your next one?
Lilo and Stitch. Just, I mean,
I almost put this on mine. How
can you just keep doing this? It's no one. Listen to me. No one has ever been like, this live action remake is just as good, or they've been like, I actually love it. It's always, wow, that was a live action version of the thing I saw when I was a kid. That was pretty cool.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
And that is it. Even the most diehard Disney losers, like my wife, they're always like, wow, that was a movie that I just saw. And I was like, and I'm like, yeah, it's
that sounded
definitely
just
a
like
movie.
Your wife. That was insane.
And I was like, and I was like, yeah, that definitely was a movie I saw. That was a CGI version of the one I saw when I was a kid. Yeah.
I'm also one of those Disney losers that just loves watching Disney movies, even as an adult, whether we have the kids with us or not. And I can't stand the live action Disney remakes.
No. And they
Do not
ruined,
get me started on the Lion King one.
which
It's
is
not even really live action.
It's not live action. It's all CGI.
It's all CGI.
It's not live
And
action.
it's so boring. They don't like they ruin Be Prepared, which is one of my favorite Disney villain songs. And it's so lifeless and boring. I don't know. Which, and again, ironically enough, it is one of those Disney live action remakes that is my number 3. And it kind of goes, it blends into what we're already talking about. The How to Train Your Dragon
Dragging these
one
balls
is,
across.
that's my number 3. I love both Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. I love both of the original movies, but I do not want them to ruin and tarnish either of those. Like, I don't know. They're in such a weird spot because it's also just this idea of if you make it literally just exactly the same as the original, then why make it? Just go watch the original one.
Just
there's
don't
no
do
point to it. But then if you change it, then it's like, oh well, you're messing with the original. It's a lose-lose, and they continue to do it every single time.
Here's what I have to say about this. My favorite Disney movie is Mulan, Mulan. And let me tell you what that movie was about. Okay? First of all, there was no magic chi bullshit. Okay? It was a woman trying as hard as she can to keep up with the boys and then surpassing them. Okay? What was the remake about? Chi bullshit. And the only way she was so much better than the boys is because she had this natural, I have this chi inside me stronger than anyone else. And it just completely
magic.
Yes. So it just completely defeats the whole purpose of the animated one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how in the original we saw her train and use her wits.
She had to work hard to keep up with the men.
She worked so friggin' hard to even keep up, and then became the savior of China.
Yeah. Through
what if she just didn't have to try that hard?
Exactly. What if she just was born with this magic ability that made her better than everyone else? Wow. What if she didn't have to try?
Better? Isn't that such a better lesson to teach young girls?
Exactly. Yes. So let's get off this before I get angry.
Hopefully they're at least watchable. That's all I can really say.
Pardon my French, but I'm pissed. And let me tell you what was your
what's your number 2?
My number 2 worst of the worst? Minecraft. We already talked about that, so we don't have to talk about that much more.
Ooh, even lower ranking for you.
Yeah. Well, I love Minecraft. And I love the game. I mean, I'm a freaking loser. I built a 50 by 50 by 50 hole underground. It took me literally 2 months. So I love the game. But
I will never forget. This is more of a side note. It's fine. You'll all get over it.
Yeah.
I will never forget the moment I spent however long downloading Minecraft onto my console, and Theron was so excited. He was like, "Yes, we can finally play together, and I can't wait to show you what I've created." He had been telling me for like an entire day that I had to come see his map. And he wouldn't tell me what it was. I was like, oh, he's probably made like a castle of some sort. Has he like recreated something from a movie or game? And then I get on, and he's like, Carson, come with me. And we go deep into the woods. We go all the way out into the map. And then he's like, behold, my hole. It's this giant hole in the ground.
It was so big.
And he was so proud of himself. And it was
literally a Herculean effort.
Oh, so for my number two, hot take, most
Oh
likely,
God.
Avatar 3. I am not at all looking forward to this movie. So let, let me fill
Yeah.
y'all in. So with the
Spider.
first Avatar movie, my family and I, so I, in general, I can't stand when people hype up something to me just endlessly. Like when Frozen or Inside Out or just Moana or any of those Disney movies come out. Every single one gets the whole like, oh my God, this is the greatest Disney movie to come out in decades. They all get that. And so I didn't watch them for months at a time for every single one. And then and each of those I ended up liking, but I was like, yeah, no, like that was fine. That was good. But and it's the same thing with any TV show or whatever. Just if people hype it up to me forever, I'm not going to watch it just out of spite, just
Yeah.
because it's been hyped up to me so much. Avatar, when it first, the blue people Avatar, to specify,
Whoa.
not the
Carson.
last Airbender.
You don't have to make it about race, bro. What are you
Well,
doing?
well, you know what? Actually, we'll get to that because it's just like, oh, you know the Avatar, the Navi from the last one, the jungle ones. Yeah, forget those. You know, the ones you spend an entire movie getting to know. Just don't worry about them. We're going to move on to the water Navi.
Ooh, they have little tails. They're
They have little
cooler.
tails and gills and stuff, and they can swim really good. And they have a different shade of blue skin. We're
And
going to get to
Spider
know all
can
of these
die.
guys. And then in the next movie, the third one that's coming out this year, it seems that they're moving on to the fire and lava Navi. And they're probably going to be like a super beautiful red shade and all of that. And it's just like we're just rinsing and repeating the same stuff every single time, and I don't care. Yes, it is absolutely all both of the movies are absolutely stunning. And
Gorgeous.
that was the whole thing before the first one came out, was that it's like, oh my God, it's the most amazing movie ever. And so my family didn't go see it in the theater. And then by the time that it came out on Blu-ray, we were like, oh, I'm pretty sure we're the only 4 people that haven't seen this movie at this point. So we watched it on DVD at home and we were like, wow, that was really good.
Yeah.
But then when you rewatch it, it's like, eh,
Well, I mean,
it's just so
it's
long. And
visually, it used to be. I mean, the first one used to be the most amazing, visually stunning movie of all time. Now you get that, you know, at the dollar store. You know,
yeah,
everything looks amazing. But
and it's just,
yeah,
I don't know. The visuals are not enough for me to feel like there need to be 5 of these, which there apparently are supposed to be 5 being made. And I don't know. There's just both movies so far feel like just movies I've already seen. And I understand that part of it is that it took over a decade for the first one to even come out. But like, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be absolutely gorgeous and beautiful to look at, but I don't care. I just I couldn't be bothered to care about these characters anymore. Um
especially Spider.
yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll blow me away. I am always optimistic that movies will be good. I always want them to be good,
Yeah.
but
Can't always be good, and they aren't a lot of the time.
and speaking of ones that are probably not going to be what I
Our
believe
number
are number one.
both of our number one, and that's Off-White and the 7 Diversity Hires. Oh my
So
god!
the live action Snow White movie is coming out, and oh no.
You know what? This one I am going to make about race, and let me tell you why. Because her name is literally based on the color of her skin. How I get, they want to diversify. Who cares? Make a mermaid black. Who cares? But the girl whose name her name is White, because of how white she is, you're gonna change her skin color. I don't understand.
So, well, apparently they came out and said that it's going to be because she like survived a snowstorm or something, and so that's why she's called Snow White.
Okay, you might as well call me Drowning then instead of Pharaoh, because I mean, sorry, what a stupid thing to do. It's like,
well, there's been so much, like, even just before the movies come out, about like behind the scenes stuff. Like Rachel Zegler, who's playing Snow White,
she's such a stuck up. She's so stuck up.
She's had some very, she's had some things to say.
Yeah,
that
she sure has.
That maybe she shouldn't have. Because she's upset a lot of people, pretty much the very people that would be excited to go see this movie, are now no longer really all that excited to go see it.
At least they, made the dwarves. That was one positive thing they've done. We bullied them into doing that successfully.
I don't know. The original dwarves have such a classic look to them. And now they're CGIing them, and they just much like the Spider-Man cartoon, it's a choice.
Look, it's probably the only good decision they've made throughout this entire movie is to just make them dwarves. Like, just make them dwarves.
Originally, the movie seemed like it was very much just not going to follow the original at all. It was going to be pretty much like she escapes the huntsman, and then it's just like, I guess she's with the dwarves still, but she kind of just defeats the evil queen all on her own. And she like wants to be queen herself and stuff. And it just... It was very much, it was kind of more so making fun of the original and kind of calling the story stupid and saying that it's not a modern...
Look, take out the unconsensual... Yeah. Take out the unconsensual kiss. Fine. But
sure.
The whole basis of the entire story, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
They just, I don't know.
Take out the kiss. She wasn't
romantic myself. I still find the idea of just wanting to find love and find your person to still be a very, that's still a very real thing, and I don't think it's stupid to want to find love and for that to just be the thing. I think it's kind of weird that we live in a world to where it's like frowned upon to just find love, Yeah. Like, I don't know. And not to say that the love story in the original Snow White is just the most amazing love story ever told, but I don't think there's anything wrong with Snow White wanting to find love, and that's just the thing. Not every single Disney princess has to want to be a leader. Because not every person wants to be a leader, Like, yeah. I don't know. That's just the whole thing, from the fact that it's just once again another Disney remake that we don't need, and then
or want.
They could, and then they couldn't be bothered to get somebody, like they couldn't be bothered to just get somebody that is Snow White. And just, I don't know. And then the actors didn't even want to make a remake of the original one. They wanted to basically do their own story, but just slap the title Snow White onto it. And so now they're like begrudgingly doing this version of the movie. And it just, I don't know. The whole thing is just very weird. And I'm just not excited about it at all.
I'm not excited. And I'm not even going to watch it. So I watched about half of The Little Mermaid before I got more bored than I was in Nosferatu. I got to tell you.
Oof.
That movie, I know, real bored. I wasn't even able to finish The Little Mermaid. First of all, 3 hours? Are you kidding me? 3 hours for The Little Mermaid? You've got to be. Have you lost your mind? Because I will help you find it. That is ridiculous. There's no need for it to be that long.
Theron, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It felt like 17 hours, okay? Look, it was so long. It was so boring. I thought it was 3 hours long. Okay? Minus, give or take, 45 minutes.
Give or take, yeah.
Just take, maybe. But,
so we've definitely covered ground on what we're not looking forward to and our sheer disdain for live action Disney remakes.
Guess what's not on the top 5?
No, neither of our top 5s feature one of those, unfortunately. But let's move on to the said top 5 of the movies that we are in fact very excited about.
Now this
you
is
go
where
first.
It gets good. You know what, Kirsten? You know what? What? I'm gonna The Conjuring.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's mine too.
That's the worst of the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say. Good night.
I don't really know. This is one that I don't necessarily know a whole lot about it going into it currently. But I know that there's another Conjuring movie coming out. This is a horror franchise that I do care to try to keep up with, and I'm excited to see more of. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of all there really is to that one.
All right, let's just get past it. What's next, Carson?
For me,
I forgot. Yeah, go ahead.
My number 4 is the Fantastic Four movie coming out.
Fantastic.
No, we do not talk about Fantastic. We will talk about the other 2 Fantastic Four movies well before we talk about Fantastic.
But Fantastic was iconic. How bad it was.
So we grew up with the Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
We did.
Fantastic Four movies. I still love both of those. I don't know if I have to consider them a guilty pleasure at this point.
No,
probably should to most people.
Isn't it sad that movies have gotten so bad? We look back on those obviously awful movies like the Fantastic Four movies, and we're like, man, these were really good. Why did we ever mistreat these? Like, they're obviously not good movies, but harshly. They are very entertaining. It's like
like I can watch them and recognize that they are nowhere close to even the top of superhero movies, but even it's probably mostly nostalgia, but
yeah,
they're so fun, and I don't know. I understand that Batman makes money, and I don't know. I get that the dark and gritty works for that, but studios continue to just not understand that that's because that's just an integral part of who Batman is.
Right.
And has been for decades. The Fantastic Four are pretty famously not dark and gritty.
Right.
And Fantastic was so you know how people said, what if you just made the Fantastic Four movies like we did, but just take them a little bit more seriously and do them just really good? Just make them really good movies? Yeah, no. Yeah. What if we don't do that? What if we just make them really dark and gritty and boring and just awful?
What if?
To the point that people don't think that it's possible to make a good Fantastic Four movie.
Maybe it's not. I guess we'll have to see.
I am so cautiously optimistic about this one. I want it to be good because I love the cast. I love the Fantastic Four, and I just like I don't want to I don't want it to be that you just can't make a good Fantastic Four movie. I'm really just hoping that they can knock it out of the park, because I also am one of the people that have been defending the MCU even throughout the
Yeah. To a
the
fault.
up and down the up and down roller coaster of a ride that has been the multiverse saga.
You mean the steep downhill that hasn't gone up at all? Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Just a heads up, later in February, we will be doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe ranking episode. That, if you haven't gathered already, that'll be also a very divisive episode between the two of us. But even through all of the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of phases 4 and 5 so far, I have been defending them as much as I can. Definitely some things that are not good. Just definitively not good. But even still,
Right.
I have been saying that I know that they can make good stuff. And I am hoping that Marvel's first family, as they are referred to, will be on that upward trajectory that they at least appear to be on.
Right.
But yeah, what's your number 4?
It's also Fantastic.
Excellent.
Fantastical Four. My number 3, though, 28 years later. I absolutely loved 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Your boy, Cillian Murphy, he was in 28 Weeks Later. Yeah, they're just great movies. And I think, is it 28 Weeks Later that has the alternative ending scene too? I think that's always really cool when movies have those.
Full disclosure, I have not seen either of them.
Well, full disclosure, you're an idiot because they're amazing.
That's pretty much the consensus that I've gotten every time I've told somebody that.
It's the only zombies more terrifying than the 28 Days Later zombies are the Last of Us zombies. Those are the only ones more terrifying. And I don't even consider Iron Legend zombies. They're just, they don't even call them zombies. They're vampires, but whatever.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
We won't get into that.
Yeah, I'll add those to my list, and I will make a point to check them out. We might even do an episode on them before the new one comes out. My number 3 is Ballerina, and it takes place within the John Wick universe. It is Ana de Armas, and it's pretty much it's a female John Wick style movie. I love that world. I love Ana de Armas for multiple reasons, but I'm very excited.
What are the reasons, Carson?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've loved all of the John Wick movies so far. The trailer looks awesome for this one. I just the John Wick movies just consistently stand out to me because they are action movies to where I can actually see and understand what's going on.
Yeah,
it's a franchise that just has never they've never let me down with a single one of the movies. And so it's nice to have a movie that I'm like, I feel pretty confident about this one.
Yeah, it's hard nowadays. Really hard. All right. Number 3. No, that's 3 in French. I was about to say as they say in French, but that's 3. I don't remember what 2 is in French.
Number 2 in French.
Number 2 in French. Ni, as they say in Japanese. I'm gonna say Brave New World. Now, now understand. Let me be clear that I am cautiously exclamation point optimistic. I mean, what else do I need to say? It's easy to make a trailer look good. Okay, the trailer looks great.
Oh yeah.
But it's easy to make a trailer look good, and then just the track record of the MCU lately, it ain't good, Chief. So
It's
I'm
about a
very.
50-50 shot, if you
It
ask
does
most
look
people.
very good. It does look very good, though. And I love this the idea of this global conflict over the Celestial's dead body. I think that's very, very interesting.
Thank God they're finally addressing the Celestial just sticking out of the ground.
You know, the planet-sized creature just hanging out, and the dead one.
Yeah.
But yeah. By the way, I talked about this one, not to you guys, obviously, but to Carson when Eternals came out. If there was a creature that size that made it that far out of the planet, the planet's already ruined. We would all be dead anyway. Not only from the tsunamis that something like that would create as during its emergence, but what it would do to our crust and with shifting tectonic plates. I mean, you're talking about earthquakes that will topple the strongest building in the world in seconds. No. I'm a big science guy. No, listen to me. I'm a big science guy. You can't hear people in space, okay? I don't care if you have to have Sonic 3. They are having a full. First of all, you can't even talk without air. You can't even talk without air, first of all. Second of all, you
can if you're a fast
hedgehog. You can't hear in space. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why does every single movie, why do they need to have conversations in space? You can't hear.
Listen,
okay,
when I'm here to see my really fast hedgehogs, I don't care about science.
Is Shadow fast, or is he just teleporting? Is there?
I mean, well,
I feel like it's
a different thing. I think it should tell you something that the main bad guy is a scientist. All right.
Oh, my bad. I forgot that Jim Carrey playing a scientist knows more about space than I do. Anyway.
So my number 2, surprise, surprise, is another MCU movie. Not Brave New World. That one didn't quite. I'm excited for that one, but I have my own reservations about it. This one, I am, to be honest, I'm just pretty excited about it. It's got 2 of my favorite characters. It's Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts with an asterisk. I have my own theories on what the asterisk is, but we'll get to it another time. But yeah, no, Bucky and Yelena are, I would say, probably my 2 favorite MCU characters currently. I wasn't originally excited about the overall team that they had announced, but because it's not really, as far as the comics go, like the traditional Thunderbolts team. It's so they're supposed to be reformed villains, and like they're pretty upfront about the fact that it's essentially Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, but like it's kind of one of those, sometimes they're genuinely reformed villains, and then others not so much. They have their own nefarious schemes and whatnot. But yeah, the trailer kind of turned me around on the idea for the overall team. It seems also, it like Cap 4, it seems very Winter Soldier-y vibes, but with a little bit more of a chaotic fun vibe to it. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just excited about it. The MCU actually seems more on the up and up in general, at least for this year. There's a couple of things that we'll have to kind of wait and see how it turns out. But overall, I'm assuming feeling and hoping that they can stick the landing. We'll find out. What is
But with this next one, Superman. That's right, bitches. Superman's back, and he's all
Thank
hopeful
God.
again.
I'm so excited.
So he's both our number ones, by the way. So
Yes, if that was not clear.
Superman. Yes,
Superman.
it's time. It's time for Superman to come back to the big screen.
Honestly, I don't know if there is a more perfect time for a Superman movie to come out.
We need hope more than anything else.
No matter.
We need hope.
Without getting too political, no matter what or where you're at, the world is just way too serious in general right now, and we just, we just really deserve a Superman movie that just makes us feel good.
Yeah. We need a real life Superman at this point.
Yeah.
We should not go too in depth because we are definitely doing a review of Superman when it comes. But, we're both huge nerds and we're ready for Superman to just be back, Speaking of things that are obvious.
Oh, God.
This mop on my head, this long, beautiful hair that I have hair. It's obvious to everyone that I'm not bald. As much as it's obvious that Carson's the crier, it's obvious I'm not bald. Okay? Okay, Carson? It's just the I don't know how many times. It's just the lighting. I don't know.
Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll see y'all next time.
It's the lighting.